Okay. So, getting into things. Previously, the group of you are in the desert oasis city of Akkad, a district within Akkad, has an unprecedented ability to grow and harvest food crops and fruits and grains that are disproportionate to the climate in which you find the city to inhabit. This oasis of not just water, but flora, has given rise to the size and greatness of the city of Akkad. During your time here, you've gone about on a few jobs. You worked at briefly, and still have the ability to do so, as temporary exterminators on behalf of the Upland Depths Mining Company, and came across strange draconian creatures down in the mines who seemed to be gathering a list of minerals and fungi. Upon your encounter with them, they were immediately and aggressively hostile, to which you met with your usual aplomb. In the death throes of these creatures, they had a cataclysmic end, as magic within their body seemingly tried to find some way to release itself. Most of them turning to cracked stone and off-gassing poisonous and petrifying vapors, one of which had imploded and crumbled in upon themselves as they splattered the area with bone fragments, scraps of flesh and metal. But you cleared out a potential danger. You did not find the miners that were missing, the previous extermination crew, pardon me. But at least that shaft of the mind was cleared of danger. You came topside. You got a brief job about a missing runner for the Upland Depths Mining Company who relays messages and missives through the Undercity and to various mining fronts. His wife was concerned that he had gone missing, but he returned home within about a day after you had picked up this job. He had just gotten lost and turned around on the underside of the city. Very common for somebody who needs to know all of these passages extremely well. You raised concerns about your inability to access the great library of Akkad. It was within a district that's controlled by a faction known as the Order of Whelm, a rising political faction, amongst which there seems to be no internal dissent and strife. Whereas the Merchants Guild might disagree over how best to equip ships, one large ship or three small, they still agree that they want to send ships for some type of trade. There's no such dissent within this Order of Whelm, at least from outward appearances, amongst the politics of the city. The growing power of this faction is of particular concern due to the King Aldrich Valor, a dwarven gentleman, closing in towards 400 in age, not quite there, and his failing health. Most people believe he will likely abdicate the throne sometime in the next year, maybe, to be able to release himself from the burdens of needing to keep the city together. And such an abdication could trigger a power vacuum that none but the Order of Whelm wish for they themselves to fill that vacuum. At least that's the fear amongst the rest of the populace. You've made contact with a friend of Kelpip Snowbeetle's by the name of Finian Finch. looks to be a gnome of reputable standing, but disreputable disposition towards law and order. He informed you that he was intending to break into the library of Akkad. He had something he needed to check, and the access to the library has been non-existent for the last 6 months or so. The group of you joined him, researching a great number of things during your rather successful information heist for what the group of you do. You learned some about the Kami. You researched the history of the city of Akkad. You touched on information about Bodemol stones. And you learned a little bit about this list of materials that you had found. That these materials are the things that would be imbibed by a deep dragon while it is nesting and laying eggs, used to strengthen the eggshells and help with their digestion and nutrient replacement. This bit of study continued further, and you learned that there are certain effects in regions where particularly old and ancient dragons are present. Within the region that a deep dragon calls its home, the ability to wake up still exhausted is a bit more present. The writings within that region cannot be destroyed by non-magical means. As you gazed around at the library around you. And finally, crops, plants, fungi, all grow twice as fast, twice as large, and provide ample bounty when harvest. This brought you to the conclusion that there's likely a deep dragon somewhere, and the radius of its regional effects includes the oases of Akkad. Now you teleported out and had a tense discussion with Finian about he was found. The group of you hadn't quite been found yet, but he was found and had a brief skirmish with a woman whom, upon stabbing her in the neck, turned to, in Finch's words, raspberry jam. You had a tenuous conversation about him hiding things from you, and you hiding things from him, which seemed to end amicably, and he's departed. We pick up today. You are at Rook's Meat Hall. Finch has left you to your own devices. It is close to 3 to 4 a.m. Sunrise will be in a couple of hours. The morning, night is yours. What would you like to do?
We have to pick up Heng's potion, right? That's gonna be ready this day.
It is to be delivered today.
Okay.
You're not quite sure how Kelpip has this intended.
I would like to return to the assigned room and sleep.
Well, you're in the room, and then sort of done and took you.
Oh, I thought we had separate rooms.
Oh, yeah. You can go to the other room. The group of you bought 2 rooms.
Yep.
Yeah, Heli will do the same. But not with ALS. Like, no.
Well, you're in one of them, so if the other room is... If you're not going to the room that Aeolus is going to, you're staying in the room that you're currently in.
No. I'm going into the quiet room, but I'm not going with him.
Much more specific. Yeah. Okay. Eos, roll me a perception check.
Uh-huh.
Stepping into your room, Aeolus, you remember it was the one right down the hall. The door is slightly ajar, and it sort of puts you on edge immediately when you step in. But taking a quick sort of glance around the room, appears to be uninhabited, at least at first inspection. You didn't leave anything here, so you don't have any immediate fear, but just sets off all of your nerve endings.
I'm going to use my last spell slot to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Put it in chat, thank you. As you intone Detect Magic, you feel a presence very faint coming from the tall closet. Well, that's tucked into the corner of the room that you'd be able to hang traveling cloaks in without them touching the ground, such that they could drip dry if they were wet, even though you're in a desert climate. You get rain every now and then. But from the interior of this closet, you're getting a very faint magical aura of conjuration.
I'm going to load up the Star Metal Blaster, and I'm just going to walk over to the bed, sit down, aim the Star Metal Blaster at the tall closet, and just exhaustedly Pidge, if that's you, get out of the closet.
The closet doesn't move.
I'm just gonna keep the Star Metal Blaster trained on it. I have no reason to suspect it's someone other than, unless it's Order of Well. Are you pissed about your library?
The closet does not respond.
I'm gonna go over and open the closet.
Ellie
Nope.
pokes her head in and says, "Who are you talking to?"
Not the right time. You see the Aeolus over about to open the closet.
Yeah.
He talking to himself again, Heliwrast?
Apparently.
He's losing it. Already.
The door opens to the closet. Aeolus. The closet itself does not appear to have anything hanging within it. At the base of the closet, there appears to be what looks... You'd liken it to a piton that you'd use to hammer into stone while climbing. But it looks to be made out of some type of whitish ivory material. And there is a sort of spiraling pattern upon it. And it appears to be have been stabbed or hammered down into the floor of this closet, like digging into the wood. The top edge of it has a carving, which makes you think just pushed, not hammered. The carving at the top of this is in the shape of a doorway. And the whole thing that you can see is about 6 inches in length above the wood. You're not sure how deep in it drew. It's not the most concerning thing that you see, though. Above that door, that is the carved icon on the top of the ivory paean. You see a shimmering line running horizontally about 3 feet in width, and then ascending on either side about 6 feet, and then coming to a gentle tapered point in the center, about 7.5 feet total in height. Just sort of very close to the top of the closet. Looks like there was some thought into making sure that this shimmering outline of looks to be the shape of the door on the paean fit within the space.
Heliwrast.
That wasn't there before.
Make me a history check, then.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh boy. The smart dwarf.
Yeah. Quality skills.
Gotcha. So
5.
It might have been there before. You're not sure.
Weird. Can't remember, but
I don't
well,
have a habit of checking closets.
yeah. You know what it is, Eolas?
Not the slightest clue, but I'm gonna activate one of the Crimson Rights on the Star Metal Blaster.
Which one?
I'll activate Cold.
Oh no. Oh no, Eolas, don't tell me it's moving furniture all over again.
And then I'm going to point out to Dunnan and Heliwrast. Probably get everyone else. This wasn't here.
You can
I
collect
love
everyone. That's fine. Yeah. The closet seems unfazed while you're collecting people.
Not wanting to touch or step through because Aeolus is going to get yelled at anyway by Teng. Why anger her more? I'll just wait and then ask everyone else. What do we think this is? And we should probably go through it.
I mean,
Go through it?
it looks like a door, right? Someone.
Detect magic's been finished about this point. Aeolus is gone. Well, about half an hour of stuff so far.
I mean, someone opened a door in our bedroom. I guess the only thing to do is investigate, right?
I would like to know who the door belongs to and if we have to kill them or not.
I mean, if they were able to get a door in our bedroom, surely they could get the drop on us at any time, right? None of us noticed this.
No, we weren't here. And I'll look to the front, and I don't think that door is an obstacle for anybody.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe they thought it was an unoccupied room and we're just needed some kind of space.
What do
It
you
may
think?
not be with us.
What do you think, Ten? Have you seen anything like this?
I would like to investigate it.
Certainly. Make me an investigation check.
Guidance. Por favor. Oh boy.
I mean, I can send my owl through again.
You don't immediately notice anything that's not already been discerned. Thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sending your raven through is a much better idea than Aeolus going through. I just got diamonds and I'm not keen to use them already.
Sure. I will use a wild shape to summon my little cosmic owl friend and start viewing through their eyes and send it through the portal.
So we didn't tell her that we sold all the diamonds?
I'm sorry, what?
Alan
Like hell you did.
Okay.
I've
was
sewn them
thirsty.
into the linings of my clothes to keep people from finding them.
Tang's best anti-pickpocket is just so the team doesn't take the stuff.
Correct.
Alright. Siegfried, you conjure your wild companion, you said an owl form.
Yep, just
And-
a regular owl,
Okay.
and start looking around using their eyes.
Okay. So you get into the perception of the owl currently on your shoulder or on your knee, like while you're sitting on one of the cots. The doors to the closet have been pulled wide open at this point, and you can see this outline. And you said you're sending the owl through the outline.
Yep.
Okay. What's an owl's speed? Is it 50 feet?
I do not remember. I can look it up.
Okay.
Look it up.
I feel like it's 50, maybe 60.
It is 5 feet on the ground, flying 60 feet.
60. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So take swing. Roll me 2d6, please. I'll take swing, get some speed, launches itself through the portal, smacks into the back of the closet, and takes 9 points of damage. It flew headfirst into a wall.
Well, it's not a door.
It's just this wire frame in this shape.
Tang looks mildly disappointed she didn't let Aeolus jump through it.
Maybe we need some magical words to open it. Like, I don't know. Abracadabra?
Well, what is this little spike, or have you ever seen anything like it, Aeolus? Doesn't Aeolus have identify?
He does. He would need to
Visually
take
cast it.
whatever the spike is and examine it for the duration of the spell.
I was muted. Aeolus will drop down to one knee and will start to cast Identify on the Eaton.
Okay. You will to do as such. You will need to remove the peatin from the wood
Cool.
because you cannot see all of the item at this moment.
I will definitely attempt to do that.
Make me an athletics check. Damn. Okay. Get a good grip on it. It feels cooling to the touch. And give a good solid yank. Make me a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage. Lovely. A few things happen in rapid succession as you yank this peatin out. First, it doesn't move, Aeolus, and then you feel it, the wood start to give the creaking sound of them releasing something, and then all of a sudden you tumble backwards as this gets yanked out like a cork out of a bottle. And at the same time, out through the wire frame, you're not sure if you're tackled or you're just the cushioning. A tiefling woman appears, crashing into you, tumbling. Zaya, would you like to describe what they see?
Absolutely. So, what pops a kind of tall, gangly, like blue purple tiefling. She's got really bright opalescent eyes and freckles that are in various shades of flame across her nose. She's got kind of wild, short black hair, about shoulder length, and it kind of like moves of its own accord with wind. And because of the gratuitously rude behavior of getting pulled out of this, her wings are probably flapping and her tail is angrily twitching at the end like a cat.
You see Aeolus holding your peon. Would the rest of you mind describing what she sees gazing upon you?
Helly's standing there, flanking Aeolus. She's got shine and shade out, and she has the shine aura buff. And she's just ready to fucking go.
Okay. You are a goblin? You are an...
Oh, I'm sorry. I am a very large half orc, but definitely more orc than human. Like, got more of the orcish genes. So what, 6'6", 250 pounds, spider on her shoulder, ghost spider on her shoulder. Maybe.
The conjured
Yeah.
form? Okay.
Yeah.
Siegfried?
Yeah, you see a very tall half orc, and then you see a slightly taller but skinnier Goliath, who doesn't have any weapons drawn, is kind of has his hand folded and is like, well, maybe we can just discuss this before we start a brawl in our hotel room. And you'll see that he has a chain shirt on, but he's not wearing much armor. He has a big shield sort of strapped to his back. You'll notice that he has a lot of tattoos on him. Some of them seem astronomical, like star maps. However, you'll see that he has a couple tattoos written in the giant language. Sorry, I have to get my sheet out.
While he's getting the sheet out, Zaya, make a history check as well.
Yeah, you'll see a couple tattoos in the giant language. One that says friend, one that says mountain. But then the rest of his tattoos are written in Dwarvish. Some of the ones written in Dwarvish are actually songs about the Bronze River clan, sort of tattooed on him. And yeah, he's just kind of, you'll see that he's kind of looking to see how Aeolus reacts before he does anything.
You immediately notice these are not traditional Goliath tattoos, also. With that history check. Tang?
You see a very, very tiny owlin perched on the edge of the bed in like a pale blue and leather armor, very lightly armored, mostly white feathers with a short hooked beak and black markings. She is notably startled and at present fluffed up.
Every time you say it, I just picture like an owl pufferfish.
I love it.
She's tiny. She's got to make herself look as big as possible. So she just goes, poof.
Just a round ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Done.
Oh, right next to Heliwrast, you see a very handsome, nearly 5 foot tall dwarf with, well, his most notable feature is probably his very red beard and hair, which is keeping very well trimmed and braided. He has a very muscular figure and has a stoic expression and has a hammer in his right hand. More like, looks like the hammer from Thor. And, well, he's holding it over his head and says, "Oh, it's our room. I don't really like freeloaders. You better explain yourself."
And Eos.
Lovely.
Sorry.
You're good.
Sam, are you muted still?
No.
No. Aeolus is just in shock at how his friends and allies have let him be tackled.
What do you look like
I
before you cast Misty Step?
don't have that spell.
I assume any character you make has that spell.
You see a slightly tanned human with dark, long-ish hair at this point. Average build, blue eyes. Can't tell if he's in his late 30s or early 50s. He looks frail for an adventurer. And he's just staring up at you. Why were you in our closet?
Technically, I was in that, but it just happened to be in your closet. So if I could have that back, it's quite important to me. I don't mean any harm.
Siegfried will help Aeolus to his feet, and if Aeolus lets go of the piton, he'll hand it back to you. We didn't get your name. My name's Siegfried. And he holds out the piton.
Thank you, Siegfried. That's right nice of you. My name is Jaya.
Do you happen to know how you ended up in that thing in our hotel room?
Well, I was reading in there, see, and
Oh,
that is
it's your bedroom? This
yes,
thing
it's kind of
he
like
points at it.
it's just like a library, or it's a place where I can hang out and do some light reading. But
Oh.
it's free for the night, so that's free for every time. But anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds very useful.
Wait, you have
is.
a library that you just carry with you?
Well, yes. Where do you sleep? Oh, I guess you sleep here. That makes sense.
Yes, generally we either sleep under the stars or we rent one of these places. Siegfried's kind of like second guessing himself having this guy. He's like, do I really need to explain this? But I guess.
Aeolus is tired. He's gonna throw up his hands and go, "She gets a library. I can't get into a library. I'm going back to the other room."
Why?
Well, did you give us your name? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Jaya.
Jaya.
it's-
So, Jaya,
Yeah.
you found us in a interesting period of time for our group. I mean, you're free to leave if you want, but is there something you need from us, or I mean, we might not be. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not sure you want to be involved with what's going on right now. Honestly.
Tang wants to pipe up and say, so this library, do you have any books on deep dragons?
Oh,
And
probably.
well,
If I mean, I can take you in tomorrow.
sure. But that was a little bit of confidential information. Tang is getting used to keeping secrets. It's not very common from where she comes from, but that's part of the reason why. I mean, we can tell you more information, but the risk goes up exponentially the more information we give you. And I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, you just appeared in our bedroom. I'm not sure if either of us can trust each other at the moment. I mean, you seem pleasant enough. And
Tang looks very confused at Siegfried because she did not mention anything about there being a deep dragon.
I mean, you're asking about deep dragons.
I have a book about deep dragons.
Sure,
I
sure.
just gave her a fun reading.
Okay, yes.
Look, all right. I'll just level with you. So I am kind of on the run from pirates right now, and find myself here in this strange city, and I'm kind of by myself, and I don't have any gold, so I have to, steal into people's hotel rooms and find my own space, and just hope they don't, have magic and can find me. So, sounds like we're both in a bit of a pickle. Perhaps this could be useful going forward.
I mean, you're not
You
wrong.
got pirates we can kill?
I mean, actually, this
Oh.
city was actually built to avoid piracy. I mean, it was something we read about. So, if you're avoiding pirates, this was a good city to come to.
Oh, hold on. Why exactly are you running away from pirates? There must be a reason.
Well, they kidnapped me. See, they were going to sell me into slavery, and tieflings being not super rare, but winged tieflings for sure. These make me quite a target.
Can I possibly do an insight check, Spencer?
Certainly.
Yeah, me too.
Jayas, change your seat to whisper and make a persuasion or deception check, whichever you think is appropriate.
God. Yeah.
She wears a lot of it on her face, guys. A lot of it on her face. She doesn't seem to be attempting to deceive you in any type of way.
All
Is
right.
that a natural one?
Then I will ease up a little bit.
It would just make sense.
Ellie will finally stand down and sheath her axes.
Okay.
Well, we've had our run-ins with slavers before, and let's just say we don't appreciate their philosophy. So your freedom is secure. We won't be turning you into any pirates or anything. But
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, we are about to set off on a pretty dangerous job. I don't know if there might be coin in there, but we can't give you down payment, and we have no idea how much money there actually might be. And it's going to be extremely dangerous. But it'll keep you. If you join up, we'll definitely keep the pirates away from you.
See, that sounds lovely. So, I mean, I haven't had a crew in a while. I mean, really, I've only had, the other interns and apprentices, and they were boring. But really, I just kind of need a path forward. I'm not sure what I need to be doing right now.
Well, you surely have heard from us already. We are called the Bloody Mad Dogs. Most favorite.
Again.
Oh no!
Little bit of
I'm sorry.
secrecy.
We are the trusted companions. I mean,
Yeah.
Make a deception check, Dylan.
No,
Jaya, make an insight check.
nice.
Yeah.
Love it. On brand.
So I guess.
Dunnan has revealed some information which he's not supposed to reveal.
Yeah.
But you don't know what the significance of it is.
I just tell Jaya, I'm sure I'll be able to explain this to you in the future, but for now, we're under the alias of the Trusted Companions. And as long as we stick to that, the safer it is for everyone.
What kind of fighting skills do you have, Jaya? Because we fight a lot.
Oh,
And we kill a lot.
what scrappy. I'd say. I do get into a scruff now and then. Pretty strong, I'd say. And
I mean,
Do you
uh,
have magic? Do you have a special weapon? Do you just
You do
Oh,
notice
right,
that
so
she
I-
carries one weapon.
yeah, I stole this off of the pirate captain that had stolen me, and I'm gonna hold up Serpent's Fang for the first time, and so she's a ferocious, but not bad. I'm also quite handy with magic. feel like
Serpent's
that's-
Fang appears to be a short sword made out of scrimshaw. When she removes it from the sheath to demonstrate the entire length of the blade is covered in winding, twisting, vaguely like Gaelic Celtic knots, but it's a little bit more flowing and Art Nouveau than what you're used to with that type of design you've seen here and there. And the entire thing appears to be made out of a single piece of scrimshaw. Matches the Peachin.
Looks like a fine blade.
Yeah, honestly, both of these have been quite handy. Which pretty sure is why they're still trying to find me. But
And you took it off the captain's hands? Am I right?
I mean, technically, I took it out of her quarters. So every so often, she'd use me to find, identify things that they'd stolen and plundered. And one day, she left me unattended, which was when I made my escape. And it was kind of a clumsy escape, but nevertheless, I'm off of it now. So, and I have a magical library and a magical sword. Oh, bad.
I'll turn to Eolas quickly and say, "You're thinking about all that smart that is in that library, right?"
Need a
Oh.
soundboard or like face palms. Just that's all I need.
As Tunin turns
Uh,
around, Aeolus is not in the room.
Oh,
I
you
also
go?
saw my whisper back as well.
Yes.
Tang wants to excuse herself. She's gonna run downstairs and get some food for our new
he's
companion.
probably reading some smut. That old
Roll
cheese.
me d20, Tang.
Okay.
While Tang goes to get food, I'll sort of quietly ask Jaya. This is just a personal curiosity of mine, but the pirates, they didn't happen to be Goliaths, did they?
Roll a d100. Jaya. Some, but not predominantly.
Yeah, just a smattering here and there. Really all kinds, but not primarily, no.
You can't tell if Sigrid's expression is like relieved or concerned. He just seems like he's thinking about something. And then he'll sort of like snap out of it and say, it seems you're quite a knowledgeable person, especially if you say you have students. You wouldn't happen to be proficient in arcane knowledge? It's a pretty big blind spot in our group, and I could use some help.
Yeah, I mean, I know my way. I'm
And
more than happy to help.
and that the question about the ancient dragon. If you have any information, that would be very helpful, because we are most likely heading underground right into a dragon's lair with limited reconnaissance. And if you can help us fly, even better.
Well, I definitely might be able to help out with that. And then tomorrow we can go into the mansion or library and then and see if we can request any books on the subject. Do a little research.
Good luck on that.
Oh, my library. Sorry, I haven't been able to get
Oh,
in the
your
library here.
library.
Have you all been
Okay.
able to? You guys have been able to get in the library here. I've been trying for weeks. Slightly.
well, we have our means, and well, they might not be legal, so to say,
Or official.
or of yeah, let's say unofficial ways to get in.
Gunnan
we
is
use-
as subtle as a foghorn.
Yes, he is.
we managed to access it using some unofficial means, but I imagine that security is going to be heightened after
Or
the
breaking.
incidents. The incident.
But shh, that's our first secret now. All right? And he thinks back to when he mentioned the bloody Mad Dog's name. Our second.
but
Second.
yeah, sure. There's gonna be a lot more secrets coming your way, Shia. So apologies. Was there anything you were looking for? Maybe our research goals are in the same direction.
Honestly, I didn't really have a strong idea of what I needed to research. I just really like the library. So my name is actually, well, in Infernal, it means eater of brains. And luckily for me, Infernal is a very interpretive language, and so I just took that to mean I read a lot of books. So basically, I try to find a library wherever I go. I heard this one was the best.
I mean, it's a good as name as any. I was named after a song. Anyways,
Like,
well,
I'm named
You
after
are
my
able to return with food at this point.
I offer it.
well,
to-
I'll ask Jaya, have you had any interactions with the Order of Whelm while you've been in Akkad?
Spencer, have I? No. Yes.
Roll me d20.
No.
Jesus
Heard of
Christ!
them?
Two.
Your interaction was mostly limited to being told you cannot go into the Library of Akkad, and seeing the painted swatch upon the side of the library a few months back of the circle with the three-pronged trident, and then realizing that you saw that sort of all over the district, and then after that, because of how they sort of brushed you off, tended to sort of avoid those districts.
Yeah. Didn't get a good vibe from them actually. So,
Honestly, that's probably a good instinct. There's something strange is going on with them, but anyways, I guess I'll fill you in with the job we're currently planning. You might have insight that might help us, but recently we were hired as rat catchers for the ODMC. We went to investigate. We ran into some interesting pests in that they didn't seem like they were pests at all, and they seemed like they were some kind of humanoid group. Draconic in appearance, green scales, wings. They jumped us.
I was torn to stone for a brief moment.
He was petrified. It was astonishing but terrifying at the same time. Anyways, we fought these draconic creatures, and one by one as they died, some of them turned to stone and tried to turn us into stone, and the other one exploded. We didn't understand their language. All we knew is that they were looking for... I hand over the shopping list. These minerals. We investigated. As far as the ODMC is concerned, most of these minerals are just slag byproducts of mining more important materials. We didn't think much of it until we broke into the library last night. And there we found, after investigating somewhat into the history of Akkad and what it's built on, we found out information that there's most likely an ancient deep dragon nesting under the city. That's most likely the reason why this oasis exists in the first place, and these creatures, whether or not they work for the dragon, seem to be gathering materials that a dragon would need in order to lay an egg and remain healthy. So we're planning on returning to the shaft that we found. It's a 30-foot vertical shaft that goes through some poisonous gas, and then opens up into. I hand over the diagrams I made. A giant sort of diamond-shaped opening under the city, and all we know is that these draconic creatures came out of this opening, and we've been trying to figure out a way to safely get our party down to investigate. So far, 2 of our party members can fly. We're waiting on an enlarged potion. One of our party members can levitate for a little bit, but yeah. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to get down safely.
And don't you worry, we have a way of getting out, and I'll point to my head, and there's a helmet.
It won't be a one-way trip,
Yeah.
but getting there is harder than getting back.
And there are also some miners missing. We still haven't found them, but we're
No.
pretty sure they are down below. Somewhere.
Con saves for everyone except Aeolus as well. Including you, Shia.
Yeah.
Your rest was interrupted.
Dan is yawning profusely.
Alright.
We can chit-chat tomorrow more, but after our mission, I'm rather
Exhaustion.
tired.
Yes. I mean, Jaya, you're welcome to stay. We have 2 rooms for now.
Oh,
Your Keaton is also recharged at dawn.
oh yeah, sweet. Okay. She's gonna swallow all the food that she had stuffed in her mouth. Okay. But it's very nice of you. A rest does sound nice. And then I think we have some things to plan. I think I can help you out with this.
And
Honestly, it sounds
The
fun.
most appreciated. Well, fun isn't the word I would be using, but we can make it fun. I promise you that.
Tang sighs loudly.
And I get very close to Shai and say, but we have to keep watch on Aeolus. He's pretty frail, you know? You don't really know how old he is.
Well, I mean, I did tackle him, so I did get to feel how stringy he was underneath clothes. So I understand.
And it's a lot of work, and I point over to Tang for her.
Yeah. He's impetuous as hell and has a death wish.
To be fair, Dunnan has a death wish too.
Yeah, but Dunnan can back it up.
But Dannen is robust.
I am still here. Okay, hold on.
You went to the different room.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
You ain't there.
He's awesome to have around, but hard to keep alive.
Yeah.
But we still love him. We give him a hard time, but we still watch him and keep him safe.
Remember that time he had a pet mimic?
Oh yeah, he kissed that mimic. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
He drank a mimic once.
And
Remember
It was
that?
the same mimic.
Oh,
Same
same mimic.
mimic.
That's why I said he kissed a mimic.
Yeah.
Okay. I never knew mimics could pretend to be potion bottles, but that's unlocked a whole new fear.
Well, we also had a mimic that pretended to be a table. That's why I said, hopefully that cupboard over there didn't move. Doesn't move.
Anyways, I'm gonna get some
Sorry.
rest.
Yeah.
It's very nice to meet you, Shaya. I'm sure. Hopefully, this doesn't end in all our demises. Siegfried will
Nah.
go into Aeolus's room.
Wouldn't be the first
not.
time, Siegfried. We always come on top. So don't you worry.
Appreciate you not killing me the minute I come out of there.
That's a new development. We usually kill first, but you're lucky. We're learning restraint.
We kill first and then ask the questions. Maybe we should think about turning that around.
Yeah, the first time you guys show constraint, Aeolus is being tackled. Well,
I'm sorry. I don't. To be fair, you yanked me out of a very comfortable chair. So, if you really want to talk about it,
I'm
we
not there
both owe
to
each other an apology.
He's
Even
dreaming,
though-
he's dreaming this conversation.
it's just all in his head. He's like, they're probably telling him secrets. God. Don't draw attention to yourselves. Hi, we're the Bloody Bad. Shit.
And we are here to investigate a deep dragon.
You just picture Tang saying, "What do you mean state secrets?"
We didn't say there was a deep dragon. I just asked about books about deep dragons. It could have been. And objects of interest. I don't know. That's my current curiosity.
Oh, we are not the smartest
So-
bunch.
all
Six
of you,
is the one that spilled it.
so all of you presently need a long rest. So what are you
Mm.
doing?
I'm gonna go take a long rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take
Yeah.
a long rest.
It's bedtime.
Okay. One by one, the group of you retire. Jaya, do you stay in this room? What do you do?
I think she's gonna curl up back in the closet just because she feels bad.
Okay. You all complete your long rest. Tang, you almost got a level of exhaustion, but none of you actually took one there. You wake up mid-afternoon, close to about maybe 3 p.m. Based on your guess, where the sun is in the sky. After the midday reprieve, where the streets become empty because of high sun, has already passed, and the streets are bustling with the second half of the day's business already. Rooks is on a relatively quiet, out-of-the-way place, but you can still hear the sound of the bustle of Akkad as you come out of your slumber, each and every one of you. And you can find your way groggily downstairs to a very late and cold lunch.
Everyone woke up. Can I spend some time investigating or trying to figure out what these quote-unquote candles are? That
Make an investigation check. How many did you take? 3?
X
6? Okay, yeah. Make an investigation check. You feel it's most likely combustible.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to change the way how it's packaged in my bag.
Not going to keep it next to your flint and steel.
Right.
Okay. Easy enough. Yeah, you went to bed before everyone else, so you're able to conclude this investigation before the other 5 individuals come downstairs. While you are there, Aeolus, after you sort of wrapped up, Finian comes downstairs, sort of gives you a nod, and goes about eating. And then the rest of your group show up. And Jaya.
Well, Jaya, you said we could take a look at your library. Is this a good time, or do you need more preparation?
No, we just we could do that now. Yeah, absolutely. So you
I
want
mean,
to...
I imagine after we can go back to the room. We don't have to do it in the.
Yeah, maybe not
dining
in
area.
a public space.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Probably don't want this flashed about.
I motioned to Finian. You were looking for something in a library. Would you want to join us, if that's permitted, Jaya? Finian is a comrade of ours.
Finian's just staring at you, Jaya, with sort of a queer cock to one of his eyebrows. I'm gonna give you a handout for Finian. If I can find him. And currently Grumble is sitting near the fire, sort of sunning his belly. Not sunning, heating his belly. And one of these bushy eyebrows is just staring at you, like, well, he's staring at you. One of them's cocked as he's staring at you. Pardon me.
Right.
Maybe we can save that for some other time then.
No. I appreciate you trying to include me in this sick raid. I'm sorry. You look remarkably like an old friend of mine, Andriel. You sort of threw me there. Do we know each other?
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever actually made your acquaintance, but Andrea, you said.
Aye,
That's my
very
mum.
old friendly man. But I haven't seen her in a few years. What about her?
That's my mum.
It's your mum. A series of conflictual emotions sort of pass over Fenian's face. Interesting. I need another drink.
I turn to Jaya. Do we need to? I understand you were forcibly brought to this city. Is there anyone you would like to contact? Maybe send a message to say that you were all right.
That's right. That's very kind of you, actually, and possibly at some point I should do that because I'm fairly certain everyone thinks I'm dead.
No, so not to always keep volunteering 10, but our cleric has the ability to send messages. So if you ever need help with that, you should reach out and talk to her.
Fantastic. Thank you. That's good to know.
Well,
No, I
I
was just
see
going to say
that-
with the library, we just need to choose a topic before we go in, and then it'll give us the research it has on it. So if there's multiple things, we might take multiple days to do that research. So whatever we should do.
And Aeolus, just think of the things you could do if you had a library like that.
Listen, I'm really sorry about tackling you, but if you take this off of me, I am not going to handle it well. All right?
No, I'm not sure we would even know how to use it.
I also think I am not strong enough to take anything from anyone. That's fine. What'd you say your name was again?
Jaya.
Yeah, okay. And how much of why we're here did
Aeolus,
tell you?
the cat was out of the bag pretty quickly, but I haven't told her everything, including where we were before we came here.
I see.
Finian's back after quaffing about half of a quart of his ale. Alright. Your
Hey.
mum. Is she alright? How's she doing?
She's fine. Fine. Probably.
Um,
I haven't talked to her in a little while.
I clearly I've not talked to her any longer.
You were startled, Finian.
I didn't know she had a kid.
Are you her dad?
No, she's much
Are
too
you?
tall.
I'm
I
just
squint
gonna
my
eyes.
over to
I
the
make-
bar and just grab drinks for me.
Inside check, Finian.
Sure, go for it. He seems to be straightforward with you. He has no suspicions that Jaya is his daughter.
So, how do you know her, Mom?
We traveled together. We better part of a few years. Doing sort of what you all do. It's a few of us. A few people came and go. That's what. She said at one point that she wanted to get off the road, start settling down. She went back to her hometown. Up in Grad. Last I heard of her.
Did your mom ever mention Finian? Or tell you about her old traveling days?
Or anyone named Kelpip.
Yeah, hell, Kelpip, I know. Studied with him. Wait, you all know Kelpip.
Yeah, Kelpip is a good friend of ours.
Tang's gonna sigh.
You know, isn't it strange how the universe brings people together?
But Tang, you were gonna say something?
Oh, Tang was just gonna sigh because we had explicitly not told her where we were from, and then brought up Kelpet.
Well, that was after Finian said, yeah. I just assumed because they were all part of a group together, Finian and Culpip. So it yeah, that makes it's already out of the bag.
Vinny, I'm so sorry that. I'm assuming. Well, I mean, I'm not
There
sorry it didn't work
is-
out because I wouldn't be there. But
In the middle of what you're saying, there is a crack of energy. In the middle of the mead hall, startling most of you, a billowing creature of smoke and fog, about the size of a large dog, is standing on the table around which some of you are seated and standing. Looks around the area with sort of empty, vacuous, concave openings, which you guess are eyes. You're not sure. Locks on Tang and reaches into its own chest and puts a small chest down. Reaches into its torso and places a small wooden chest in front of Tang.
Oh, jeez.
And then
What
it's just sitting
the
there
hell?
waiting.
I open the chest.
Inside is a scroll.
I take the scroll. Do I like look at it to see if I'm supposed to put the money in?
Make an insight check. You are.
Okay, how much was it again?
This is a scroll of enlarge. It's a second level spell. That
Mhm.
is 100 silver.
Okay. Can I take it from the party loot, guys?
I'll up there.
Okay.
Of
I
course.
hold my hand out to Aeolus for the money.
Money, please.
Money, please.
Yeah, I mean it's only fair because I didn't think we sold one of our diamonds a while ago.
What?
This was a few sessions ago, and I think you knew about it. We sold one of your cheaper diamonds.
You what?
So how much would the meadery charge Aeolus for a bottle?
Oh no, not the diamonds, the fire gems. We sold the fire gems.
Fire
Yeah.
gems, yeah.
I
You
need
need
the
some
diamonds. I guarantee I have the diamonds. I would not allow you to sell
Once the
them.
coin clatters into the small chest, it's only about 8 inches by 6 by 6, with a domed top. The entity closes the chest, puts it back into the inside of its torso, which looks to just be swirling mist and wind, and then collapses in on itself like a vanishing thundercloud. And there is another boom of thunder as it vanishes from the space.
Well, that was delightful.
Not much
Thanks,
facility,
Kalpa.
these deliveries. All right. So Finian, have you changed your mind? Do you want in, or you still have more questions for Jaya?
Maybe. I might be able to dance to Smith House. I don't know. Your mum know you're here? Why are you here?
Alright, so I was kidnapped by pirates. Stuck on that pirate ship for quite a long time. Might have escaped, fell through a portal. Now I'm here.
You were one of the apprentices at the old shop.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that shop's kaput. The one here's closer to being reopened, and it's in the middle of the Whelms districts. I thought we were all of them were killed or signed up to become pirates. Sort of,
No,
he looks at the
didn't
rest.
sign
Of you.
up.
Sort of how it works. If when they seize your ship, you have two options: they throw you to the deep, or you join them. Which, when you join them, you don't really get to go back to your old life anyway.
Guess that makes sense from a pirate's logic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we can send a message to your mother. You just need to figure out one that's 25 words or less.
About that, Siegfried, sending only works if I know the person that I'm sending the message to.
Oh, I see.
I'm checking
That
the
makes
website
sense.
story.
I don't think I've ever met Jaya's mother.
No, apologies, Jaya. I misunderstood how the spell worked.
That's
Kelpip
alright.
does- pardon me, not Kelpip. Finian does not have access to sending.
I asked Finian,
Yes.
if we get in touch with Kelpip, should we let him know?
Oops, say
If
hey.
you send a message to Kelpip,
Yeah, I mean, maybe we send a message to Kelpip and then Kelpip can relay it on to your mother. I mean, he literally just sent us a cloud dog that turned into thunder. I mean,
Honestly, I don't think. I think it'd be fine if he knew. Probably nice, honestly. If it sounds like everybody else is dead as well, or gone, presumed dead.
yeah. What sort of message would you like to send to him? We only have 25 words.
Just that I'm alive. Might have stolen some artifacts you might want to see. I've been keeping up with my studies, and guess is this a good time to do my gap year?
So, let's see. Found Jaya. Jaya is a woman, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay. Jaya, daughter of what was your mother's name?
Andrew?
Andriel. I guess thought you should know has artifacts, has continued her studies. Anything else? Did I forget anything?
gap year.
That's all right. Oh, yeah.
Gap year.
Gap year question mark?
Question marks
Yes.
are not conveyed in sending. It is not a telegram.
Well, gap year, the word question mark then.
Gap year?
There you go.
Gap
It
year,
works.
gap year, comma, the words question mark. Is that under
Just saying.
25? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you're at 18.
Okay.
One second, I'm rewriting it a little bit.
Yeah, Sam is gonna make it a lot nicer and more polite.
You really are a nice bunch. I didn't have to dictate that. Just
This isn't the first time we've had to send messages to loved ones. So I understand. Well, I mean, not
That
that
sounds so bad.
it sounds so. All right.
Yeah.
How many people have died like traveling with you all?
A few. But
All right.
I
fair enough.
mean, at least the people sending messages to loved ones are still alive. I understand what it's like to be separated and not knowing what's going on. I worry about my family quite often.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's
Full
all right.
disclosure, feel like I should say this. I am not good at healing, so I'm not that kind of wizard.
Oh, you're
just-
a wizard.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mhm. See, there, attack made it much nicer.
Okay. So Siegfried, you're sending the spell?
No, this
Yeah.
has to be.
This
Yeah.
is me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
just
no,
offers to
see-
send the spell, offers
Yeah.
to compose the spell, looks at Tang expectantly.
Exactly. Tag is our she's the communications officer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I'm gonna cast sending.
Okay. Sounds good.
Um,
A few moments pass after you relay the message. Well, damn, that's nice news. Okay. I'll let you know if I hear anything in that regard. Damn. That's the end of it.
He said he'd let us know if he hears anything from your mother, but that he'd pass the message along. He didn't say anything about whether or not your gap year was approved.
We'll all operate under the assumption that no answer means yeah. What?
I mean, we can say that our coming endeavor is some sort of work study. I'm sure we can negotiate it.
You get paid in exposure.
Exposure to deep dragons.
Oh, that hurt so much.
Okay.
Well, I think.
Are you going to into the library? Or are you?
Yeah, I think we're
what
still
is
trying
the
to
plan
see
for the
if
rest of the day?
Finian wanted to join us after everything.
4 p.m. He's indicated that as long as he doesn't, he wouldn't be imposing on Jaya. Effectively.
I think so. Aeolus, what subject do you think we should investigate in the library first?
Can we go to the room before we discuss this?
Yes. We're back.
Well,
we'll go
wait,
back to our room.
we're so used to just blabbing everything out in the open.
It happened in a few seconds, Aeolus. I tried to fix it, but it wasn't gonna work. Let's just go back to our. And also, no, we just summoned a thunder dog in the breakfast room.
It was about the
also
size of a dog. It still had arms, not dog legs.
Okay.
It's an air elemental. It summons an
Yeah.
air elemental.
I just imagined it was like a good dog with like a scroll under its neck.
I like that better. That's the thing now. Instead of a
Just
cask
Saint
of
Bernard.
yeah. Instead of a cask, it's a little chest with the magic scroll.
Yeah. So now that I assume we're back in our room, I'll ask Aeolus again. What subject do you think we should investigate? The dragon or something else?
If the group of you are really worried that much about the dragon,
I mean, I'm more worried about their lair or finding it once we're down there. You know? Either way, we have to go check it out.
oh, we
The
do.
more information we have on the creature, the easier it'll be to find it, right?
It would, but we also have to remember we are not there to harm the dragon.
No. Obviously, from everything we've been told, this dragon just wants to be in peace. So I have
Well,
no.
the question is if the dragon sees it as well, if it just invade its lair.
Maybe that should be the focus of the research. If there's been any examples of humanoids successfully negotiating with an ancient deep dragon, maybe we can see what they did and try to replicate it. So
I just hope we don't face the same like we did with a voice, remember?
True. I mean, there's no indication of any sort of shadow, the same thing going, but we honestly don't know. A voice was also actively hunting Teng's people, the livestock of Teng's people.
That's also because those are the only large mammals around that area.
True, yeah, true, I guess. I mean, this deep dragon has obviously found a way to feed itself for thousands of years without ever coming to the surface. Either way, I turn to Jaya. Perhaps if your library can give us information on deep dragons. Specifically ancient
deep dragons
ones.
and how to befriend them.
Yes. the new DreamWorks movie. Deep dragons and how to befriend them.
That's one of
Right,
my
so I can take
favorite
Sounds like
coffee
the
in there.
worst idiot's guide ever. Also.
Right, so 5 of us could go in. Well, myself, 5 included. And then,
Hmm.
yeah, so
Okay.
everyone in?
Yeah, I don't think we have. I don't
Finian
think
is
we have
with
room
you
for
as well.
Finian.
Helly's not that interested. She's not much of a reader.
Why are you counting number?
Counting number.
Yeah. Why are you counting a number of people?
Why did I think it was 5? I might be like completely.
Yeah, there's no restriction. Yeah.
Swear to God, I read it somewhere. I apologize profusely.
Yeah.
My bad. What?
Yeah. So I think
Um,
we can all go in, but yeah.
Okay. What do you do, Shane?
So I have to stab this into some area, right? And then we.
Would you like me to describe it?
Please, thank you.
All right. You see Jaya pull the Piton out again. That also seems to be made out of some type of scrimshaw or ivory carving. As the group of the 7 of you and Grumble are piled into one of these rooms, which you lock the door this time. Jaya takes the Piton and stabs it with a fairly hearty impact into the ground. And you see the lines spread out over the course of about a minute, forming the same outline. However, now the outline is no longer empty. It is presented a beautiful mahogany door made with silver fittings and bindings. The tips of the nails for the door appear to be made out of some type of semi-precious stone. And there is an opulently carved or crafted, polished silver knob. It's been very inviting to you. This is familiar to you, Jaya. You've seen this many times previously. What do you all enter?
Why not?
Siegfried is sort of smiling, looking at this, and walks in.
At our first ride.
As you enter, one by one, Finian and Grumble taking up the rear, Jayu leading them in. There is an immediate abatement of what is effectively the ever-present desert heat. It is cool and comfortable within this space, and you enter in the gap between 2 stacks of a bookcase to either side of you, and then looking down, you see that the bookcase itself forms a hallway up to the ceiling, and so you realize even the ceiling itself is tiled in bookcases that, despite being facing the floor directly, the tomes do not fall from their shelves. Ahead of you, there is an opening. You step further in through what appears to be concentric rings of bookcases here and there. As you step through each successive ring, slowly coming into focus on the outsides of the hallways to either side of you, you see turns at about a 60-degree angle, indicating that it's not circular, it's more hexagonal. Stepping towards the center, you see a series of desks and reading nooks and all manner of accoutrement for note-taking and dissertation and scribing. Each of the nooks are gathered around a central pillar. One of the very few structures that does not seem to be made out of bookcases. And as you start to ring around this central hexagonal pillar, you see windows on it in each of the nooks that would be for reading. And despite facing the column that is no more than 20 feet, roughly, in diameter, all of these windows exhibit different locales and scenery. One of them has a gentle pattering of rain against the panes. Another has sunlight streaming through stained glass. Very different ambiances throughout each of these nooks. As you make your way entirely around this central pillar to the opposite side, you see another hallway. And about halfway through the rings, you see it open. And leading you to this edge, Jaya shows you to a series of, whilst still open, quite private spaces. There's not doors in the same sense, but it's private areas where there are hammocks strung up with, look overly stuffed with plush blankets and throw rugs and cushions of various shapes, sizes, and textures. There's small cots that are sort of tucked into bookshelves where the bottom 3 or 4 shelves have been removed, and the bookshelf itself has been turned into a sleeping bunk of some sort. And the area throughout here is all lit with dim, soft, reddish, glowing lanterns, flameless. Beyond this space, you find a beautiful series of tables and plates. You do not see any source of food at immediate glance around. As you come into this space, Jaya, approaching you is a familiar, small, nondescript sprite. There's not very much features of this individual, and they seem to be semi-corporeal. Could be a halfling, could be a gnome, could be a dwarf. It seems like every time you sort of glance at it, and then glance away and then look back, it seems to have taken on another generic form. But it's always semi-translucent. Sort of nods to you, gestures to the plates in a quizzical manner, if anyone requires any refreshments. And then, upon no indication as such, stands at the ready.
A question: how exactly did you get a hold of this pocket library with a waiter and everything?
I stole it. Stole it off the pirate captain.
So
That pirate captain is definitely looking for you right now, isn't he?
that is a very wealthy
Mhm.
pirate captain, I must say.
Not quite
Maybe
sure
not
what you got
anymore.
with it. Yeah, yeah. But they probably are quite mad at me. So
Can we get a description of this pirate captain? Do they have a name?
yes. Stand by. Hold on.
I just want to know when when the inevitable encounter happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the Lady Sai of the Devil's Buccaneers.
Isn't
Ship
it-
called the Shadow.
Have any of us heard of these
Captain
pirates
of the ship.
before?
Make a history check.
I haven't.
You have not. No.
There are not pirates where I'm from.
You have not, Ellie. Give me one more check on it. If someone else wants to make it.
History check?
Yeah, one person.
Yeah, I think
Ugh.
Aeolus might be the best, but
Yeah,
Dunnan wants
I
to do
won't.
it.
Aeolus. It makes sense for Aeolus. He's part of the
Yeah.
member of Blackburn Watch as well.
Shit.
The Devil's Buccaneers. you know, Aeolus, are a plundering group out of the fairly elusive and difficult to handle locale known as Brigand's Hold. Previously a member of the various Taltha that typically meet at Shieldmeet every 4 years in Armskirk. It was taken over by a bit more than a crew, quite closer to what would be a fleet. The Buccaneers came from somewhere in the northern reaches of the islands, and no one's quite sure how they grew to such prominence, but now they command close to 30 ships. The name of Captain Sai and her ship, the Shadow, does not ring a bell, though. It's a known issue for the shipping lanes between Elderthorn, Armskirk, and greater parts of Aquan, but it is not a common bit of knowledge. It's something that has come up here and there, and you only have passing knowledge because of your involvement in security for Elderthorn.
Well, that's fantastic.
What is?
The Devil's Buccaneers are the ones that took over Brigand Hold. They're the headache upon the shipping route.
So, these are the privateers we've been hearing about.
These are
Is
the
that going to be a
pirates.
problem?
No, I mean,
It's just another target on our back, so
we've never had direct dealings with them, but we've just been told that if we ever go to Brigand's Hold, that the privateers that run the place lit with the Iron Fist, and we better be careful. That's all. And I think you've just corroborated that, especially if they have access to artifacts like this.
That's fair. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to go stealing from them again, but I might
Well,
pretty handy so far.
One problem at a time.
Right, beat dragons.
we're like 4 problems in right now. What do we do? We just
So
look at
let me
the
give
books?
you a breakdown of how this works as well, mechanically, out of character speak. She's not described the name of this. The magical rod allows Jaya to cast a special version of the Magnificent Mansion spell, known as Felthoral's Library. The version of this spell creates a well-appointed library in addition to the regular accommodations of the spell. The library is stocked with tomes, dotted with reading nooks, each of which have their own window overlooking nondescript but beautiful scenery, with weather of the reader's choice. The books within the library cover a multitude, many subject matters, topics, interests, and flights of fancy. Aeolus. When you cast a spell, you may select a topic of research, which the group of you did. Over the course of a long rest spent within Felthoral's library, you, this would be Jaya, as the person to whom the item is attuned, may make an intelligence check of Arcana, History, Nature, Religion, or another skill is determined by me, as to what is most appropriate for the research subject. Every friendly creature who aids in that research confers a cumulative +1 bonus to this check, as opposed to the normal rules for help. This check is made over the duration of a long rest and cannot benefit from spells or magical effects with a duration of less than 8 hours. If you succeed, you gain knowledge on the subject as if you had cast the Legend Lore spell. Once the spell has been used to cast Felthoral's Library in this way, it cannot be used to do so again until the next dawn. And it's a DC 20 check. Yeah. Well, Armis is elsewhere. Tough. So the group of you decided on deep dragons and how to befriend them.
Yep.
I'm assisting.
Oh.
I'm assuming we're all helping with the same
Okay,
contact,
so
or is there
plus
somebody
5.
that is?
Yeah, Heli will assist.
No, so you have a +5 bonus. I'd like a nature check from you, Shia. And this also means the group of you are spending 8 hours in here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I feel like I need to restart roll 20 before I make this because I've been rolling so poorly so far. Sweet. Okay. 23.
23. That is a success. DC is 20. Alright. Let me pull up specifically legend lore.
No pressure, right? It would be so funny to be like, I'm gonna do this thing, it's gonna be super cool, and then just fuck it up with a
I mean,
nat one.
that happens all the time in this group, so.
For one, you know to hug them.
Okay. Hey, I mean the +5 helps. Okay, deep dragons. They make their lairs underground and are considered nightmarish cousins of evil chromatic dragons. They have a warped magical energy of their subterranean realm, and it gives them the ability to exhale magical spores that instill fear and scar the mind. They have a black and gray hide that is smooth like a salamander's. Their eyes are pale. As they age, their spore breath causes fungi to bloom across their skin, especially around the head and neck. Their wings are attached to the back half of their front legs and can be folded in close to the body, allowing them to easily maneuver through narrow tunnels and dig said tunnels. They hoard secrets, delighting in knowledge and a knowledge of far-off lands. Pardon me. Deep dragons make their lairs in extremely well-hidden caves or sunless underground beaches of water. These sites are often entirely inaccessible without the ability to burrow or dive underwater. They fill their lairs with secret passages, hiding places, and it's often dotted in various types of fungi, molds, and lichens. The group of you have already learned about the regional effects. Deep dragons themselves are incredibly solitary, and there is not any record of any of them ever have been reasoned with.
Is there any mention of what they like to hoard?
Knowledge.
Okay.
I actually
They hoard knowledge.
turned it to Aeolus. They said knowledge of faraway places specifically. And then
I'm from a very far away place.
you are, but Dunnan is from even further. I turned to Dunnan.
And you think I have any knowledge?
I mean, surely you have. True, I guess. But I mean, you're. If they truly
Probably all
value,
washed it down with ale.
I mean, a story is
oh.
still a story, regardless of how drunk the person telling it is.
And I can try.
Drunk history is the best history.
I mean, it doesn't
Oh.
have to be history, it could be your personal experience too, right? Surely you had adventures before you were the Dunnan we know now.
So, let me get this straight. I should persuade the dragon with a drunk story of mine. Is
Of your
that our game plan?
No, I mean, if it
Sounds
comes
like
to
a
it,
good
I
plan.
don't. That is not the game plan. I'm just saying, if it comes to it, you might have an advantage the rest of us don't. maybe think on that.
I look a little puzzled. Sure.
Just tell them
And-
stories about the homeland. Surely across the sea. I've always wanted to see it. Surely
Oh.
the dragon does.
Well, it definitely smells like a plan that's suited for us, yeah.
I mean, we gotta investigate, but what are we gonna do about this ancient evil mushroom dragon? Someone's messing with it.
I think we know who's messing with it.
Ooh.
They're probably messing with it because they want the egg. What if we just get the egg first? We know that the deep dragons dragons in general aren't particularly familial.
Yeah.
We have Jaya. She seems to be really good at stealing things. We can just steal the egg from the dragon.
Oh, that's not gonna anger it at all.
Hey,
They
I'm
are
sure.
so
parental.
opposed to B&Es is like kidnapping. That's okay.
The plan keeps on getting better. Even I know that's a bad
Also,
plan.
as much as I'm sure Jaya is a master at spycraft and thievery, no offense, I'm pretty sure the moment we step on their lair, which is going to be, if it's an ancient dragon, it's going to be miles and miles and miles, they're going to know we're coming. They have better sight than us, they have better smell than us. They could probably also move much better around the ground than us if we're... I don't really see a way how we're going to surprise this dragon.
We don't surprise it. We offer it trade.
That might work. But again, it values solitude the most, so maybe merely even interacting with it would sour it in the beginning. Either way, I think our only plan is just to go and see.
So,
Don't we want to kind of take the wind out of the Order of Whelm's sails? If we get to her first and warn her of what these people are trying to do, maybe it will be appreciated, maybe we'll die. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, based on what we know, if the Order of Whelm are meddling with this dragon's natural affairs, a standard deep dragon would not appreciate the outside meddling. But again, as Dunnan has mentioned, we've met one non-standard dragon already.
I am a little concerned that it's the Order of Whelm because they're also the ones that control the library, so they have a ton of knowledge to trade the dragon in exchange for the egg. They may have convinced the dragon to nest to begin with, so that in exchange for knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's possible.
What if the dragon's name is Whelm?
I didn't think of that, but that's a very reasonable question. And I mean, the rest of us might die, but all we really need to do is get done into that egg. Secret chuckles.
What? Once again, we are stealing a dragon egg.
We don't know. All we need to know is we need to get down there.
Yes,
Yeah.
one step at a time.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe we can talk with the dragon. I don't know.
Since when did we ever follow through with the plan?
When did we ever have a
Well, last
plan?
yesterday when we robbed a library. The plan went down perfectly, Tuck.
It has been 3 days since the plan has been
successful. And we saved your people, Tang. I led you to the heart of the forest. I can think of at least 3 plans that have succeeded.
So I don't want to be the devil's advocate.
Yes, you
No
do.
pun intended. What is the main objective for us to go down there? Is it to stop the Order of Whelm?
Well,
I
we're
thought
here.
it was to find the miners or the other extermination team.
We have 3 objectives right now. 1, to find out as much information as we can about what's happening to the king, which is directly involved with the Order of Whelm. 2, finding these miners. 3, weakening the order enough so that Kelpip can reopen the establishment in the city. Those are our
Okay.
3 major objectives.
All right.
I
so-
mean, the Order of Whelm's definitely shady. I wouldn't want them getting power.
So,
No.
to further those 3 objectives. 1, we want to help the ruler of Akkad. Have we thought about maybe using a certain plant? Second, the Order of Whelm is a threat we seek knowledge. If this deep dragon, this creature, has knowledge of far off places, what about the larger threat of what we have been facing? Does it have knowledge of that?
I mean, this library probably has some information about the you-know-whats. I give a side eye to Jaya.
I'm sure we can trust Jaya at this
But
point, but
It seems like we are just escalating from one library to the next level. If this creature has knowledge that we need to save our home and the rest of this continent, that should fall pretty high up there. Fuck the Order of Well.
I agree.
If we find a way to take them out, which we should take them out. Was there anything of our research that hinted to the dragon having mental effects? Maybe, hey, you disagree with something. You meet the dragon and suddenly you're under the whim of whatever this dragon tells you.
It did say that they can affect emotions using their spores, cause a
So-
fear effect.
What if the Order of Whelm has these spores?
That could be how they were brainwashing people.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
When did Aeolus start making sense? I whispered to Heli.
Aeolus has always made sense.
A little crazed, but yeah. I all of a sudden I see him as like the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with all the conspiracy stuff on the wall, freaking out. But that's Aeolus right there. Charlie Day.
That makes me feel so much better. Really
I
does.
I do agree with what you're saying, Aeolus. I just
There you go.
I don't want to be responsible for the reason a city falls.
Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that if we tried to tussle with this dragon, it's going to kill us. Maybe the objective is to not tussle. And if
Sorry. You'll take on an ice dragon, but not a deep dragon?
I am willing to die, I'm not
Yeah,
willing
we
to
know
let all
that.
of you die. Our objective as a group, whether it be whichever name you gave Aya, shouldn't be, oh boy, if we die, oh well. No. It should be to save Akkad, to save our home, and to make sure that we do the minimal damage to a city such as this. We don't want to go in here as clandestine agents and end up destroying the city of Akkad. Do you know what would come down upon us? And if we do happen to fuck up in that way, the Order of Whelm changing an entire city's opinion against us, our home would be screwed. That's all I'm saying.
Aeolus, the voice of reason.
I agree with everything you just said, Aeolus. Do you
I'm
think
awake.
it's still?
I'm sorry, I had a really long rest.
No. I'd say do you think we should be doing something else before going underground?
I think we just need to be cautious. We can't really show our faces. We shouldn't show our faces around the District of Well. For if someone was caught,
Like maybe someone asking if they can go in the library?
well, that was before we went in and
And found, yes, circumstances have changed.
exactly. So if any one of us is seen, we should expect to be taken or dealt with how trouble is dealt with at home. If not swifter and much more brutal.
How about you, Mr. Finch? Are we missing anything in this discussion?
I like where his head's at. One other thing. Takes a long drag, blows out some smoke. One thing I'm not sure about. You mentioned, spurs are used to mind control people. Whatever you mean by that. But when I stabbed the lady from the Outer Realm that found me, up on the lecture hall at the top of the library, I wouldn't expect somebody being mind controlled to turn into raspberry jam. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not good enough to turn someone into pulp with like a good thrust, you know.
Zaya, do you know anything that would do that?
Siegfried's like a sort of idea goes off, and he describes to Finian how Badiana died, but without using Badiana's name. Just like when we found people with like the bones melting off them and just turning into water. I asked him if that is the process he saw.
It's a long callback. Nice.
Yeah.
Not quite. More like it's like when you like a block of water is freezing, but you remove it from the case, and you puncture it, and the inside's not quite frozen yet, and everything just sort of spills out because you broke the thing that holds everything together. When I stabbed her, it felt like that tension that was just holding all of this jam together just sort of broke. It was a bit it splattered. It wasn't quite like a boom. It was more like a pop. And just everything, no bones, nothing.
And you
Didn't even have no clothes. Just everything was.
When they went to attack you,
I mean,
how are
the
they
way
attacking you?
The way
With-
you
with-
describe this other corpse, it sounds closer to some of the things you described previously about these draconian individuals, like this magical energy just leaving them
Really?
kind of violently. This one wasn't that violent of an explosion, if that makes sense.
Hey, Spencer.
No.
When Aeolus dispatched his wonderful pet mimic, does what Finian described remind him of what happened to the mimic?
Does not.
Okay.
I asked Finian, when you entered combat with this entity, how did they fight? Did they come at you with a sword? Did they
no spells.
reach out to you?
Uh,
Spells?
And fairly adept at not getting caught by the shite. They had a weapon, wasn't very useful. They didn't seem to know how to use it quite well. Feel like it was probably more like an afterthought than actually like dedicated and practice with.
Do you know the nature of the spells they were throwing at you, or they were just trying to hurt you?
It just didn't hurt me. Some of it was quite searing. Wasn't quite fiery. Very searing energy. They didn't get me too bad. Don't worry about it. He sort of looks over at saying, "I'm good. Don't worry. Seriously, you gotta save enough for your friends."
Worry.
Well, Jaya, you're the
One of these sprite. As soon as the sprite leaves to collect that for you, Shaya, another one appears in its place, waiting for any type of instructions from anybody.
well, Jaya, you've heard us talk quite a bit. Does any of this stand out to you? Anything you might have seen before?
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah.
Anyone have anything they wish to add before I determine if that is a success or failure?
I tell Aeolus, show her the holy symbol.
I will hand her one of the holy symbols and will cast guidance.
Sure, roll a d4.
Her or me?
Or 31. The holy symbol. This is one of the holy symbols from the Undercroft with Mayor Tadell.
Yes.
I believe so.
The symbol presented to you is a vertically set Venn diagram. I believe you are carrying the one that is made out of platinum, correct, Eolus? Or is it platinum or mithril?
I have the one that's made of mithril, and then I have
It's a mithril one. That's what
others.
I was mixing up if it was platinum or mithril. You call him back to like session 7, okay?
Yep.
So it is this vertical Venn diagram of two circles slightly overlapping, about 30% overlapping, made out of beautifully carved and polished smooth mithril, the top of which has a very small hook for a chain, which is no longer present. With a 31, it does not stir any knowledge.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just not familiar.
How
This
about
one, unfortunately.
creatures turning into goo? Any recollection of
I'm
that?
assuming that was part of that roll.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know if it was one roll or not.
Yeah. You have heard of goo, like creatures like oozes and stuff like that that are made out of goo and in that vein. But you have not heard of creatures that are not something like that turning into something like that. There are numerous abilities to change shape through spells or inherent characteristics, but not from across such distinct types of creatures, from a humanoid to an ooze or anything like that. You provided fairly nice wine, Aeolus.
Well, Jaya, I guess you have the idea of what we're heading towards. You're not obligated to join us, but thank you for your help.
Anytime. I'm glad it's actually kind of fun to have more people in here. Honestly. Usually it's just me and the sprites, and as you've noticed, they're not real chatty.
I ask Teng, I have a few spells that might help with mushroom spores. Do you have any ideas? Other than covering our mouths?
Dang ponders. I mean, I have protection from poison.
I shouldn't have handed him that smut scroll. It changed it. This is all my fault.
Aeolus is racked with guilt for the next 2 days.
Well, is there anything else we should spend more time investigating in this library?
More ale, Mr. Sprite. More ale.
Don't
It's
you have
very
a
handy. Can we take
yeah.
that one along?
The ale that you've been provided has a delightful tinge of elderflower. Adds a interesting bouquet to the taste of it all.
Can't we just stay here? I mean, we've earned a little vacation, right?
It's nice, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, we can plan. How the schematics that you showed me. How deep did you say that shaft was that we had to get down?
I don't recall it exactly.
The shaft is 90
son-
feet where the gas
yeah.
was.
The shaft was
The-
90 feet, but then
the-
everything was like 1,000 feet below.
The rift. I feel like it's kind of a crevasse, but like crevasse is so tethered to the connotation of glaciers. So the rift in the stone is roughly 1,300 feet. Or 1,200 feet deep, pardon me.
We
and
cal-
we're near the top.
We
Where
calculated
the 90 feet.
we
outside.
calculated that like Featherfall would fail before we hit the bottom.
You need at least 2 feather falls, and to make sure that you are not far away from each other. Because it is pitch dark, and if you can't see, you can't feather fall.
So, I can fly, but I can possibly carry someone. Teng is planning on using Enlarge to also fly and carry someone. Aeolus has the ability to cast the Levitate spell. I don't know how useful it'll be here.
Don't we have potions of flying? Too?
Oh, we do? Yeah, Aeolus has that, so our plan is just to go and see.
Basically, one person needs to be able to be covered by not potion of flying.
Yeah, Dunnan, I think, or Heli.
Oh no, the
Or-
potions are going to Dunnan and Heliwrast.
Okay.
So,
Because Aeolus is the lightest one.
Yep, Aeolus is the lightest.
no. So most of you will fly, and Aeolus will fall with style.
How about
I am so down for those checks.
Does Aeolus want to ride a giant tank?
yes, I would be more comfortable if Teng carried Aeolus.
I feel like that's a question for Sam the player, not Aeolus the character.
How about you, Shaya? Are you able to navigate a vertical distance such as this?
I got my wings.
Oh, I forgot about that. That makes sense.
But I can,
Sure.
in case of anything, I do, well, can cast Featherfall.
That's good.
Oh,
We have at least
just
2
in
people
case.
then.
I
Aeolus,
think we have thought of...
go ahead.
Sorry.
I was going to ask if Aeolus wanted to. Well, I guess he would have to attune to it, but I have Cloud Cut leather armor that negates most fall damage. Just in case something happens.
I would much rather you hold on to your armor.
Okay.
You were gonna say something, Dunnan?
I just wanted to say, I think we have discussed at length now how we get down there. We should probably get going at some point.
Yes.
I'm
I
still
do-
waiting for Aeolus to get his armor.
No, that's still days
That's
away.
still a while off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding
Okay.
me. I will progress that one day.
Yep, we have
Yeah.
6 days left.
Yeah. I don't think we can afford to wait that long.
You are on the 4th day of Oktar.
So yeah, I believe we just spent 8 hours researching, so we have to long rest
It
again.
is no, well, you cannot long rest again. It's currently about midnight.
Okay.
You all went to sleep about 30 minutes after dawn, so you are not resting again until about 30 minutes after dawn. So you have
Okay.
ample time at this point, if you so choose.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind going down in the middle of the night.
I don't care either.
But then the thing is, when we get down there, we'll be incurring exhaustion in a few hours.
Well, we can take a rest before we head down, but we could at least get there.
Can we do another round of reading or no?
I mean, we
Another
could,
8 hours of research?
I
'Cause-
think we can't change the subject until
Until
Jaya
the
long
spell is
rest.
cast again.
Yeah. So I think we basically found everything we're going to find about deep dragons under this iteration.
Can we investigate on our own without spells?
You may. It is well proportioned for the subject matter. There's nothing to roll checks on at this point.
Yeah, I think we found as much information as we're going to here.
Well, I mean, about a different topic.
Yeah, that's the problem because Jaya can't change the topic until she long rests.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's got to be some like
Fair.
befriending deep dragon smut in here, though, right? Because
No,
I say
not
I
enough
say
sweat.
we take
It's already
advantage.
changed, people.
We have 6 hours of a free butler. Why don't we just take advantage of that?
The spell lasts
Feast
Yeah.
for the
24
first
hours.
time. We feast for the first time in weeks, and then we long rest, and then we go down into this cave. How about that?
Magnificent mansion.
so we're just throwing a
can-
party.
Yes,
And
we're
then-
throwing a party. This is a welcome Jaya to the Mad Dogs party. And yes, Aeolus, we already told her we were the Mad Dogs. She knows we're the companions here.
I have no doubt in my mind that you told her.
I did not tell her. It was done.
Mm.
And secrets.
On
I need a bottle.
accident.
I need a
Alright,
bottle
on
of whiskey.
accident. And then
Jaya.
Secret spoiled the rest of the beans. It's not only my fault. I just nudged the first
It's-
stone.
I don't remember Aeolus being this jealous when I joined the party. I whispered to Helly.
Yeah.
I feel
Library.
like we got off on the wrong foot. And don't. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
Secret's
you're
gonna start.
fine.
Secret's
Now-
gonna start playing some music, and he's gonna write a song about Finian and his frog.
Now that the cat is out of the bag, I go over to Saya and give her a badge from the Bloody Mad Dogs. But keep it hidden while we are here in a cart. When we leave, you can put it on, alright? Welcome to the crew.
I think I got one of those.
So nice.
Has not been an official
Just
member?
I
Did
thought
you
we
get
did.
one?
I swear we gave you one.
I'm sure of it.
Thanks, just
Enjoy.
looking at Dunham. We have patches?
Yes.
But to be fair, Dunnan was going through a weird time when we met you, Tang. You may have forgotten.
Oh no,
Hey.
I'm sure I gave you one. Might have been a drunken episode, probably. Well,
Hang, it's perfectly fine. You can have my patch.
No, it's okay.
I'm appalled, Aeolus.
First of all, none of us are wearing our patches because we're
Yeah,
deep
we're not.
undercover. We're deep
Let
undercover.
me have the illusion, alright?
Yes. And yes, I start a ballad of Finian and his frog. And I just drink for the next few hours.
Did you say that this library was its own space?
Yeah.
Spencer, when I pull the rod out,
Mhm. You feel
Right.
no pull in any direction.
that's weird.
And then it's probably gonna order so much ale that even the sprite gets annoyed at some point.
Try as you might. Does not seem to care.
Yes, Jaya, have you heard about the news of the gates being opened around the continent?
I haven't, but that actually makes a lot of sense in how I maybe got here. Hmm.
Thought it might have something to do with this library. It's kind of similar.
Cool.
So you
It's like,
haven't.
no one's been yeah, I haven't gotten a lot of information. No one really wants to chat. So honestly kind of annoying.
So you don't know about bone milestones or ley lines?
Mm,
Well, I show her my notes and I bring her up to speed on what Siegfried has discovered about the bone milestones so far. How we opened the first gate, how we found Urcrypt, um,
The henges.
the henges, and how, as far as Siegfried believes that, well, I mean, we've kind of been given information as well that the bone milestones are mined from high concentrations of magic where ley lines exist. I've been trying to get my mind around it, but I'm not skilled in the arcane like you are. My magic is more natural.
Of which we now have really pretty art of a mobile stone as well.
I mean, the nice thing is, next time we get a down day, we can just come back in here. Maybe look into it some more.
I think so too. But I'll deal with the dragon first.
We'll say, this is probably the most interesting group of people I could have fallen into.
Oh, just you wait. There is more to come.
Fortunately.
I like that. I like the art a lot.
There you go.
Oh, it's amazing.
I like how it kind of looks like an eyeball. The rune.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it's looking at me.
I have spelled it wrong this entire time.
I changed the spelling. I fucked you up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For a second, I was having a "Are you that stupid?" moment.
Nope,
Oh.
I changed it. I dropped it. I dropped a vowel. Didn't seem to make sense for me.
So I assume we can just pass time until we have to long rest.
Certainly.
Yeah.
So, the space lasts for 24 hours. So, passing time until you long rest will be dawn. Taking that long rest, which means upon leaving Belthrall's library, you will once again be able to cast the spell, Shine, because a dawn has passed. You are not interrupted during this time. And then you can long rest. That moves you into the 5th day.
And we have 5 days. We have 5 days left to lay Alyss's armor.
Yeah. So you're on the 5th day. You finish long resting about, once again, 2 to 3 p.m.
Okay.
And we'll say you had conjured the library at 4, just for ease. As such, you have about an hour before it ejects you all.
All right, adventure time.
Yep. Head back to the mines.
Okay. You're going to do a quick 3-minute break. Everyone can use restroom, re-grab snacks, all of that manner. Come back 2021.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Your brain was processing.
All good. Getting back into everything. Okay. Everyone has returned. You are caught up to speed, Shia, on Henges. It's mid-afternoon, and the group of you descend down to the mines beneath the undercity of Akkad.
Yep.
Okay. As you travel, you pass through the wide open mouth that leads to the Undercity. Akkad being a two-tiered city, one beneath the sun and one beneath the surface of that plateau, delving deep, and then further down into the passages. Siegfried, with your extreme proficiency in map making and general sense of direction, you are able to track your passageway back to the place where you found and fought the Draconians. It takes you about an hour's worth of travel. For clarification, Finian is not accompanying you. Just so you know. Yeah, he's off doing his own thing again. And I'm assuming, Jai, you picked up Belthral's Rod of Respite.
Absolutely. That doesn't leave my person.
Got it. Noted. Okay. It's still active for an hour in the inn. I just wanted to make sure when you guys left. All right. After about the hour's worth of delving, Siegfried, you are in relative darkness. There's lanterns here and there, but most people down here rely on dark vision. If you'd care to cast the spell upon yourself.
I will cast Dark Vision.
Noted.
So, I have to do Wheel and Woe again.
Yes, please.
Yep. So, Dark Vision. And then Wheel and Woe. It is Wheel today.
Noted. Okay. You are led. Well, Jaya, you are led by Siegfried, along with the rest of you, to a particularly deep shaft that twists and turns, and eventually there's no more splits off in one direction or another. It seems like they were delving to test some specific resource, if a vein was present at a lower elevation. And it finally opens up after getting to some mine cart tracks, with a sharp right turn of sturdy and smooth wall towards an office, the sounds of work happening echoing up through the space, the nondescript sounds of individuals speaking, can't make out any words specifically. You've come to where, Siegfried, you're quite aware, this is where you found the Draconians. It seems like work has resumed in this space.
Have they I assume they're working away from where that shaft is.
Oh, you're right at the fork, one of which
Okay.
leads to the foreman's office, and the other leads to the where the sounds of work and pickaxes and chisels and the creak of a squeaky wheel are all coming from.
I asked Aola, should we inform the foreman or just go?
I think that we should inform him just in case anything happens. We don't want workers to be trapped.
Okay. So I will lead them to the foreman's office.
Okay. The one working here is a remarkably portly gnome. He's got a very thick mustache that drops down to his chin and then loops back up into his sideburns and onto the sides of his thinning hair. There's the top of it is almost smooth, and he's probably got more hair coming out of his ears than he does on the top of his head. As he sort of looks up from some papers, who are you?
Hello, good foreman.
Yes?
We're exterminators hired by the ODMC. We are giving you notice that we are going to be investigating a shaft. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. You the exterminators. We didn't. I mean, it was a few days ago that we had people here take care of things. You working on? Wait, are you here for the gases?
Yes, we're going to be going down the shaft and investigating the source. We
Ah,
came to inform you because we heard there was work going down in the area.
follow me. Sort of waddles up and pulls himself out of his overstuffed chair. He's fairly pear-shaped. Clearly has not picked up a pickaxe himself in maybe a few decades. As he waddles through the camp, you see a few different miners return, make a few comments, as their work is interrupted by this bit of excitement that's happening. I sort of gaze at you. Get back to work. We need to finish. Day's almost over. Here you are. Gives a quick whistle to all of the surrounding people in different regions nearby. Don't get in these people's way. They're doing something about gas. Maybe clear out sooner. You can take a little last few bit times. Help them cart some stuff out, and we'll call it a good day. And so he turns back to you, Sigrid. Just be careful. There was a small drip in one of the other regions. We've sort of blocked it back up. We don't want dripping to start eating through the stone. Flood's very dangerous down here. So just be aware. Don't mess with waters.
Understood. Thank you for the warning. Yeah.
He sort of looks at you. More than warning. If water higher than where we are, it all flows in and flows back up shaft. We all drown. Next mining camp drown. Everyone drown. Until water levels stabilize. Catastrophic. Don't
Understood.
blowing things up.
Hear that, group? No explosives. No seismic activity.
Understood.
Hey,
Sort of sizes all of you up. Okay. Seemingly content that you've understood the danger of potentially opening an unoccupied mine shaft to an underground reservoir. And heads back to check and make sure the various members of his team are giving you the wide berth that you have seemingly required. Noted. I believe that's an action spell, so 10 minutes later you can all have water breathing active on yourselves.
Cool.
She's side-eyeing Aeolus just because of all she's heard as she's casting this.
All right. I think this is it. Who's going first?
I will. And I'll chuck my potion of flying.
Okay.
Remember, you have to drop the first. Do not pause at all the first
Yes,
300 feet.
I know.
Just drop through.
I know, because of the poisonous gas.
Yes.
I'm aware.
I know. I worry about you, Dunnan. That's all.
It's alright. Thank you very much, Secret.
Big
I'll
Big,
be
you want to
fine.
go with them?
Sure. Maybe we should go 2 at a time.
Alright.
I will beast shape into a giant vulture.
Okay.
And when Dunnan drops off, I will also dive bomb with him.
Okay. I'd like both of you to roll me con saves at advantage.
Okay.
Let me pull up the giant vulture or giant eagle.
Is it secret con or giant
Are
vulture
you
con?
proficient in con saves?
Yes, I am proficient.
So you get to add proficiency bonus, which is for
Okay.
the group of 4.
Yep.
But it uses the beast's stats for that
Okay.
because it's not a mental stat, which is a
Yeah.
+1. So you have a +5 to your roll. So d20 at advantage +5.
Okay. I'll just roll 2 d20s. Yeah, the giant vulture is new, so I
Cool.
don't have the good thing for that advantage.
Okay.
So I
Yeah, you're fine.
Apefreed was the last.
The group of you, the two of you feel the effects of the gas immediately start to take effect when you get within 10 feet of this open shaft. It is not wide enough for you to extend your wings, Siegfried. So you just have to sort of tumble and very carefully use your tail feathers and the tips of your wings to stabilize and keep yourself pointed downwards. And a few moments later, you feel the walls sort of fall away, and the two of you are in free fall. We'll come back to you. Who is second?
Tang looks at Aeolus. Do you want to go next?
I will follow your lead.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Enlarge on myself using this scroll.
Okay.
And
You
I
feel it
will-
take effect. I will double check. I believe it lasts for a minute or 10 minutes.
And Aeolus will hold his breath before
Okay.
they reach.
Lasts for 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna grab Aeolus's shoulders with my talons, I'm assuming, as opposed to having him right on my back.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna dive bomb us down that hole.
Fantastic. I would like you to make me a Constitution save with advantage. Okay. You are not adversely affected by the gases, and presently find yourself in free fall. Last 2.
Okay, here we go.
Make sure to hold your
And
breath.
Yeah,
You're
well,
on.
yeah. Hold my breath.
Okay. Thank you. You have advantage. You don't need advantage. You already passed this check anyway. So Heliwrast, you have the potion. So you chug the potion, start falling.
Yes, drank the potion, jump down.
A moment later, you are in free fall. And Jaya? Jeez.
Wish I could make con saves like that.
Yeah. Jaya, you are also in free fall. A moment later. It's the first time you've been exposed to this gas. You feel woozy and lightheaded, but you maintain your focus on what you need to do. And as soon as the walls of this shaft start to fall away and you feel yourself in this open free fall in this massive rift, that feeling abates. You see Heliwrast a few dozen feet ahead of you. As all of you are in free fall, what are you looking for? What are you doing in the moments as you are rapidly descending, falling at the rate of approximately 300 feet around?
Once we pop into the open area, I'm gonna unfurl my wings
Okay.
to slow our descent.
All right, fantastic. Make me an athletics check, and you get a D4 bonus.
I'll stick with Tang because she's used to flying, so I guess I'll stick to her.
Yeah, I would like to start flying and group up with Tang.
Okay, so you're doing circles as
Mhm.
because you can't just float as a
vulture.
yeah.
Doing
You're not under
wide
the effects of a spell.
Yeah.
And roll a D4 for that.
I'm gonna use lucky on my d20.
Sure. Better.
Better.
As you snap out your wings and catch yourself, you feel the moment of Aeolus's weight start to take over as you were falling, and now all of a sudden you're grabbing him out of a free fall, even though you were together.
Huh.
And you feel your talons start to slip for a moment as he's about to leave your grasp before you clamp down harder. Aeolus, you take 1 point of piercing damage as you feel a very unpleasant dig into your collar and shoulder. But you don't start tumbling into open air. Out of line of sight, if anyone.
Oh, that's fine.
Heliwrast and Jaya, you catch up with the rest of them?
Yep.
Alright. So Siegfried and Teng, you are the ones that are not flying under... I believe Teng, you have the ability to hover. I think Siegfried is the only one that needs to be making forward progress to maintain flight. So go ahead.
Am I able to see? Because I have dark vision, or
What is the range of your dark vision?
That's a good
60 or
question.
120.
I am looking. 120.
120. You are faintly able to see the close wall. You are not able to see the far wall. So I'll redraw our little rift that we've been.
If I have to keep moving, I'm gonna start, sort of retracing the direction my owl went earlier.
I'm gonna follow Siegfried.
When I sent my owl down earlier to scout.
Because the owl had found the openings in the wall on the far side, right?
Well, it found a place to land at the very least.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm following.
This is the shaft. That green line is the shaft through which the group of you just dropped. And then...
Yeah, wherever I'm gonna try and lead them to wherever my owl was able to land on the ground.
So the owl spotted a series of open semi-flat tunnels along this side. Your owl landed all the way down to the bottom because your instructions were continue to explore and don't come back. So it got to the bottom and then it stopped and then it just the effect ended eventually. So your owl was like way down there, all the way at the tip. There's nothing there that the owl spotted.
Yeah.
But
so I'll try and lead the party to the tunnels here.
Okay.
And
make me a history check with advantage.
Yeah.
Since you have a very good sense of direction, but it was not actually you doing it previously, so you're recalling everything, even though it was your line of sight. You were a passenger in the car versus driving.
Yep.
Okay.
Can I use my inspiration to reroll that?
Sure.
The one I've never haven't used for a while.
Yeah. Mark it
Okay.
off.
Is it still at advantage, the reroll, or
No, you're just rolling another d20.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna wheel myself.
Certainly.
And the dice gods say no.
So it's a 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
Tang, roll me a d6.
Once we get to that wall, I'm gonna be able to hopefully see where we're supposed to be going.
2. Okay. As the group of you start making this circular sort of corkscrew flight down, because Siegfried needs to be doing these loops, you do come close to the far wall. It comes within line of, specifically yours, Tang, dark vision. And the rest of you, I believe, have 60 feet after the spell's been cast upon you, Siegfried. So, not quite the same for them, but you are able to see the other wall on the outside edge of these massive loops that the group of you are taking. You descend about 500 feet in these loops before your spell fades. Tang, you're on large.
I feel like once I got to the far wall, wouldn't I just go back and forth looking for the landing spots?
Certainly. Make me an investigation check.
I feel like that is a much more effective use of my time, given I know there's a time limit to my roll.
Certainly.
Investigation.
As we're lowering down,
Mhm.
Can I focus on the rod?
It is pointing down.
Okay.
Yeah, from your descent at this point. 9. You guys are not rolling great for flying.
Can I look at that one too?
Certainly.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better, maybe.
The dice gods say no.
2 rerolls, same rolls. Oh, you do need to restart roll 20. Yeah, maybe it's affecting everybody.
Oh, no, it's spread.
The
Mhm.
sorry, go ahead. You were about to say something.
I was gonna say, like, as I feel the spell start to wear off, I say, "All right, Aeolus, let's see how good at climbing you are." And I'm gonna try to find any kind of like outcropping or like rough area of the wall that I can try to like bring him over to for him to grab onto.
Cool. All right. Tang, you can make another athletics check for me. The DC is now higher. And you
Great.
don't have a D4 bonus. And Aeolus, make me a dex save. Just on the eventuality that she fails, like that.
A little help.
Okay. As the cry goes up to the people that are circling higher as they descend, you lose your grip on Aeolus. And Aeolus, you are in free fall. 100, 200, 300 feet.
I'm gonna cast Feather Fall.
As you release the spell and start to gaze around, you are within arm's reach of one of the walls after about 3 or 4 seconds. You were very close to impacting the angled side of the bottom of this rift.
Awesome.
Not steep enough, not shallow enough of an angle to walk upon. Would have still hurt a lot. And then you'd be tumbling and twisting and on a surface that prevents you from using Featherfall. And you slowly drift with the same angle. I need you to make me a perception check, Aeolus. Teng, I need you to make a perception check. The rest of you can make your own decisions from what happens when you hear all of this. Aeolus, you do spot a sort of tunnel-like entrance. It's vaguely circular, almost hemispherical. And the bottom half is the flat-ish area. It looks uneven. It's not carved like a street to be perfectly flat. It looks much more like a somewhat natural cavern. There's a slow undulating pattern in the rock. But it's about 15 to 20 feet wide, and then domed over the top. And you can start angling yourself through the Featherfall spell towards that space. Tang, you are able to sort of dive down and see where he is angling himself towards.
Can I assist with the aiming him?
Again, the two of you are able to alight safely upon this edge.
I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. And Aeolus is gonna take his tinkering tools out, and he's gonna strike the Star Metal Blaster, and just a bright bead of light emits from the weapon, and he'll just hold it up in the air for his allies to see.
Yeah, I will start going down to regroup with the rest of our group.
Yep.
Yo.
That was
Follow
quite
him.
possibly the most fun I have had.
Dang looks mortified.
Falling to your death is fun? You have a twisted sense of humor, Aeolus.
Siegfried just makes a vulture call.
See, he agrees.
Yeah, he agrees with whom? Me or you?
We'll
I
leave
just
that
make
up to the
I just
vulture.
make another vulture call.
See?
We're not getting anywhere. Alright, where are we? And I'll look around.
You find yourself on the lip of a tunnel that descends at about a 30-degree angle. Somewhat steeper, somewhat shallower in some regions. The floor upon which you walk is not difficult terrain. Appears to be churned stone that's sharp and jagged in some sections, as if bits have been broken away and dragged some distance before being deposited elsewhere. The stone itself is dark, very heavy grayish, quite unlike the sandstone and orange stones of the plateau upon which Akkad rests. You are easily 1,000, maybe 2,000 feet below the surface of the desert, and closer to 2 after going through the Undercity. I believe it'd be Tang with your perception. You notice something you don't expect, which is the very faint movement of air on your face, slightly cooler than the rift through which you've just traveled. As you all settle in and aren't moving for a moment, it's extremely faint, but your passive is ridiculously high. So you notice it immediately.
There's a breeze, she says in hushed tones.
So it doesn't seem like we need to fly anymore, does it, Spencer?
You're at one of these entrances. It's not necessary if you don't want to.
So I'm going to drop out of my bird form.
Noted.
And
Which
then,
one? Cold? Okay.
That was like cold bird. I don't have a cold bird from.
No, Aeolus.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Got Aeolus. And the Star Metal Blaster is also shedding 20/20 light.
So it was a 5.
Okay.
5.
Oh, okay. It's like a dance. It's one of the mini things, the tinkering. Understood. Gotcha. It's not the light spell.
Right.
I tell the party that I need a few minutes, and I'm gonna start ritually casting Commune with Nature.
Okay. And we'll pick up on that next session, as the group of you are thousands of feet underground, delving into what you suspect to be the lair of a deep dragon that has some type of connection to this unpleasant order of Whelm, of which you know that they turn into goo, you think? Or at least one of them did?
And it smelled like sulfur.
It did smell like sulfur.
I mean, we've gone on less information before.
Yeah. That's accurate. You did dive into a white dragon lair as well.
So completely above table, I felt like there were moments in here that we were like, no, we're presented with an opportunity to do more research to approach this better, but we're just gonna ignore it.
You absolutely had other paths you could have gone. That's fine. We'll pick up the next session, and you have a new compatriot.
I never like it.
But also, this is out of character too. This is kind of part of Dunnan's spiritual quest at the moment.
Yeah.
Dunnan had a vision of a silver line going down this pit, so I wanted to help him.
I don't know if I'm more twisted that Meg's Izzard has more HP than me.
Everybody has more HP than you, man.
No. There's one.
I do. Do I?
It's Tang.
Yeah.
The weird thing about your HP is
I don't lose my HP.
You're the only one I can't see. You're the only character I can't see the HP. That's weird.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, we
can't
can't
see Aeolus either.
I think I updated Aeolus's token.
I can see everyone's HP.
Now I can.
I noticed that on one of the tokens previously. I couldn't remember who it is. Everyone should be able to see everyone's numbers at this point, correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can see
ADHD.
Aeolus.
That's cute, Eolus.
Hey, hey, I stated at the start of this game, Aeolus wasn't made for combat.
You've also rolled 4 2s on your hit dice.
You know what? Listen, he's
That's
old.
why I take the average.
He's an old, frail man.
Yeah.
And my very first 5e character was a fighter that I rolled help for, and it was pretty similar. I got killed by a magic missile immediately.
Alrighty. Good session. Welcome, Megan. Glad to have you.
Yeah, it was
You
really fun to
guys
play
are
with you.
fun.
Welcome.
A full 6 again, also. So fun.
Mm.
Mhm.
And some